So Hamas and Israel are at war. And with the act that led up to the war being one of the most disgusting things that I've ever seen a group of human beings do, I figured that this topic wouldn't be nearly as diverse as it has become. I normally don't like to get into super political topics on this channel because I feel like there's already so much politics in everything nowadays. I try to just make some jokes, have a good time. But I feel that this really needs to be brought to light, and the truth of the war needs to be shown to everybody. So, with that being said, guys, sit back, relax, and let's dig into this. All right, so before we dig into the main course here, it's important to look at who is in the war. We need to look at both sides of this war, who is fighting and what they are all about. So I'm going to start with the terrorist group that is Hamas. And yes, that is what they are. Hamas is not a religion. It's not a political group looking to free its people and bring democracy to the area. It is definitely not what the news has been calling them, which is a bunch of misunderstood group of Palestinian people. Hamas is nothing but a group of the worst people the world has to offer. Hamas promotes and openly brags about how they train and brainwash children from ages as young as 5 in several cases about how all Jews and Christians alike need to die. They send young kids to military camps where they learn about how all Jews and Christians are evil and should be cleansed of this earth, eradicated. These monsters has had full unindoctrinated control of the Gaza Strip since 2006 when they were elected in. Keep in mind, since they've been elected in, they have never had another election. And every single penny of aid given to them has been then turned and used to make rockets, underground tunnels, and promote the murder of Jews in Israel. And anything else that will push their terrorist agenda, they will spend this money on. They openly post videos on their websites and social medias bragging about how they kidnapped, raped, and murdered actual babies. Over 40 of them were even decapitated in their cribs for the simple crime of being a Jew. They have captured women, viciously raped them, and posted and bragged about it on social media. They got into people's phones who they kidnapped and sent their families videos of them killing their family members. And to top it all off, they used children and innocent civilians as human shields to make the rest of the world feel bad for them. They force innocent people to stay in war-heavy areas so that they can say Israel is the problem and that they have always tried to save their people, which is an absolute load of crap. Hamas does not represent most Palestinian people. And every innocent life is a tragedy, and I think we should all pray for them every day. But every single drop of blood spilled in this conflict is the fault of Hamas. Like I said, they use human beings, innocent human beings, these normal Palestinian people who are probably just trying to live their lives and go on with their days. They use them as human shields. They hide rockets in hospitals. Their terrorist headquarters is underneath a hospital. They do not care about people's lives. All they care about is destroying everyone who does not think exactly like them. Israel, on the other hand, openly sends out mass text messages and emails and internet warnings to those in Gaza to leave the area. They send in flares and military members to clear out buildings before they destroy them. Israel has tried for almost 100 years at this point to make peace with these radicals, and not even one single counteroffer has ever even been made by these monsters, because their goal is not to make peace with Israel. Their goal is to wipe every non-radical Muslim off the face of the earth. They do not care who you are or how many times you cheer for them. They will slaughter you just the same the moment you are not useful. Israel pushes for peace constantly. All the time, they are just looking to maintain the land that they have and be able to worship their religion. They have given up more land, more money, more resources, and more time than anyone else to simply be allowed to be left alone and worship their God and live normal lives like the rest of us. And yet, so many people in the West seem to think that Israel must have done something to deserve this. And the sad answer is no. There are zero things in the world that I could ever say make somebody deserve to have their families burned alive, babies kidnapped, tortured, killed, raped, or people having a fun time at a festival, at an EDM concert festival, mowed down, all because of the way they go about their religious beliefs. The wildest thing here out of this entire scenario is that it's so clear how little people over here know about Hamas and what they actually represent. I have seen women in basically EDM clothing, so they're wearing nothing but like a bra and underwear. Women who can drive, read, teach, and even have a life. They have jobs, careers, things like that. They go out and protest in favor of Hamas. But over there, women have no rights. You are not allowed to teach an education. You are not allowed to disobey your man. You are not anything over there as a woman but a tool for making children. And over there, under Hamas, that is it. Same with all these LGBTQ plus people here in America with all their signs, queers for Hamas, queers for Hamas. And if you were gay and you went to a Hamas controlled territory, a radical Muslim controlled territory, and you were openly gay, they would have you hung. They would have you thrown off buildings. They would have you publicly stoned to death. These individuals in Hamas, they don't think like you and I. They are not okay with people being allowed to live their lives the way we would see fit. They operate solely to murder all who do not think like they do. They don't care if children have to die. They don't care if women or babies have to die. They do not care how many lives need to be lost. They simply wish to rid the world of everyone who does not think like them. They openly brag about this on a consistent basis. They only want your support and they only want your cheers so that they can continue to push this agenda. And the moment that you are not useful to them, they will turn and do the same thing to the rest of us. I do not understand how people have fallen for their sick games of these people openly using children as meat shields and somehow saying that it is the fault of Israel when these children die. And they will not stop with Israel. They will push anywhere else until their agenda is complete. And we need to wipe out Hamas before they even get the chance. These are not good people. These are monsters. These are disgusting individuals who champion the murder of babies, the raping of women, the kidnapping of innocent families for the crimes of them believing in something that isn't the radical Muslim ideology. Now, before I do end the video, I want to make it very clear. All innocent lives are a tragedy. I see a lot of people, whenever somebody is being in support of Israel, they come and yell at me or at anyone else on the internet saying, you don't care about the Palestinians dying. And that couldn't be further from the truth. I don't want innocent people to die. I don't. That's a conflict and that's a problem of war. And that is also on Hamas. When you march into somebody's country and you viciously rape and murder babies, children, women, mow down families, burn them alive, and then you flee back into your country, which is less than a mile away, and then instead of fighting like a man, like a soldier should, you commit the war crimes of using babies, children, and women as human shields. It is not the fault of Israel when they are in there fighting for their lives, that a civilian that you are using as a shield dies. It is a tragic and terrible loss. And Hamas should pay the ultimate price for even thinking to use these people, these innocent civilians, as human shields. These are the same people that when the US was fighting over in Iraq in the wars after 9/11, these are the same people that gave children bombs and told them to just run at American soldiers. These are the same people that would give mothers, pregnant women, they would give them and their babies a bomb or a rocket and tell them to run at the American soldiers. And then they would shoot the rocket in their arms, killing both her and her baby. These are those same people. It's a disgusting, terrible act, and these are disgusting, terrible people. I'm not saying we should wipe out Palestinians. In fact, I'm saying the opposite. We should get rid of Hamas, the terrorist groups in that region, and we should allow the Palestinians to have their religion and allow their women and children to go about their lives that normal women and children would be allowed to do. Getting jobs, careers, or maybe just being stay-at-home mothers or wanting to become professional athletes and things like that. But under the rule of Hamas, these individuals have one option, which is to become terrorists, and that is it. But anyways, guys, that is all I have for you today. I'm really sorry about the more serious topic, and I'm really sorry about the lack of videos. I had a throat surgery last week, and I have to have another one coming up in about a month. So I haven't really been able to talk too much, and it hurts like hell to speak, but I'm finally starting to feel a little better. So again, I apologize for that, but if you guys did enjoy the video, please do like, comment, and of course subscribe. There are plenty of organizations out there where you can donate to go help out Israel. So please do that if you have time. Obviously, don't waste all your money. Take care of yourself first. But anyways, guys, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for your time. And until next video, guys, Godspeed.
I lost my best friend to 23. She left her body in Harvard above me.